What's up, YouTube? Zero here. Welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Pit Viper, which is a blueprint variant of the MP5 in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So you can see the traditional setup on the screen. Let's get into the attachments and then some gameplay. So first we have a barrel, the 10.1 Cavalry Lancer. So we're going to increase our vehicle damage by 200%. Then we have the Bruiser Grip, which is going to increase the movement speed, sprinting move speed, shooting move speed, and aim walking move speed, all by 3%. Then we have the 40 round drum, of course, going to increase our magazine capacity at a cost of 10% reload quickness. Then we're going to go into the handle, the Serpent Grip, which is plus 25% aim down sight time at a cost of 10% sprint to fire time. And finally, we have a stock, the SAS Combat Stock, which is going to increase our shooting move speed by 5%, aim walking movement speed by 15%, at a cost of hip fire accuracy 15%. You can see the camo on the screen and the stats in the bottom left hand corner. Let's get into some gameplay and talk more about the Pit Viper. So as we get into it, I do want to say that if you do enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Call of Duty content. I do a bunch of other video games, so check those out as well. First thing you may notice, this is a blueprint variant of the MP5. Well, when you aim down the sight, the iron sights are a little bit different than the normal MP5 iron sights. They kind of cut off that top half of the circle, and I absolutely love that they did that. I love this new iron sight for the Pit Viper. However, if you do attach a different barrel, from what I've heard, the iron sight reverts to its normal iron sight. So that's just something to be aware of. Also, of course, if you do attach a sight to this blueprint variant, it's going to be that sight. I feel like I had to say that. I'm sorry. Anyway, first what I'm going to do is talk about what I like and don't like about the attachment setup as laid out. I'll talk about the camo, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you 3 extra attachments if you do want to use the gunfighter perk, which allows you to equip 8 attachments. 3 extra attachments that would work with the current blueprint setup that will enhance this blueprint setup if you want to run gunfighter and don't know what 3 extra attachments you should add. So without further ado, let's talk about these attachments. So the first one, the Cavalry Lancer. It does 200% vehicle damage. Most people who are using this gun don't need that. You're probably playing in multiplayer. You may be taking this into zombies, but you're most likely playing in multiplayer. Are you going to use this in Warzone? Maybe, and it may make more sense to have vehicle damage in Warzone. However, I've mentioned this before in my videos. If you're really looking to take out vehicles, equip an RPG. Equip a launcher, something that's just used to taking out those vehicles. No need to really use a gun to do that. Use C4, use a rocket launcher, much better. So I don't like the Cavalry Lancer on this gun. I feel like it can be better used. You can equip a better barrel on this gun instead of the Cavalry Lancer. For the Underbarrel, the Bruiser Grip, which is going to increase our movement speed, aim walking move speed, sprinting move speed. I love this on closer range guns. You're going to be able to maneuver around enemies a lot easier. So it's absolutely great on a gun like the MP5. You could really take this into those close ranges and feel confident that you can maneuver around your enemies. However, one of the downfalls of this build, in combination with our Bruiser Grip, is our SAS Combat that's going to be giving us a negative hip fire. It's going to be taking away 15% hip fire. When we're a closer range gun, I really do need that hip fire. Granted, we are on the SAS Combat Stock increasing our shooting move speed and aim walking move speed, so that's good. And we also have the Serpent Grip, which is going to increase our aim down sight time, so that's good as well. We have this aim walking move speed, we have shooting move speed, and we have aim down sight time, all that's increased. So in those closer ranges, I could get that gun up quick and then maneuver it while my enemy's trying to run away. I can easily follow my enemy, and I can also be moving as well, making it harder for my enemy to hit me. But again, I don't like taking away from that hip fire on some of these closer range builds. And then we have the magazine, which is going to give us the 40 round drum. So this is, in my opinion, I really think having those extra rounds in the mag on closer range guns is important. When it's on longer range guns, you may miss out on a kill or two. No big deal. You're trying to shoot players over longer ranges. If you have the Krieg, you're aiming down a lane, you may miss out on getting a triple kill. You may kill 2 people. It depends on your accuracy, of course, and how many bullets you fired off prior. But if you're sometimes not as accurate over those longer ranges, you may kill 2 players, and then you may have to reload, and you may miss out on that triple kill. It's really no big deal. But when you're in those closer range scenarios, think about being in the house on the opposite side near my enemy's spawn. I know that they're going to continually attack me, and I don't really want to take the time to reload. So having that extended mag is really worthwhile. So I do like the 40 round mag. It's going to help me get an extra kill or 2, depending on how accurate I am that day. But again, that's where extra hip fire is really going to help me. Taking away from that hip fire, I'm moving around this building quickly, or I'm maneuvering around some of these closer range areas quickly. But now I'm going to have to make sure I aim down sight, and I'm going to have to make sure that I hit my targets. I am going to be less accurate if I start firing before that gun comes fully up to my face as I'm hip firing. Sometimes I do that. I'll start shooting before it's fully up, so my bullets are going to be less accurate in that time frame. Just something to note. So now that we've gone over the blueprint setup, I think it's okay. Maybe a 5 or a 6, but again, there are a couple of useless, absolutely useless attachments on this setup, particularly the 10.1 Cavalry, which is doing that vehicle damage. The other ones aren't bad. I do like the bruiser grip, especially the 40 round mag's nice. The SAS, pretty good, although I don't like taking away the hip fire on a closer range gun if I'm not counteracting it with something. And then the Serpent, increasing that aim down sight time is absolutely great for a closer range gun. So overall, not bad, but the Cavalry Lancer really drops it. And this is just something to note. I want you guys to know this story just so you understand maybe the MP5 in general. I was playing on Apocalypse, and I started out using the Pit Viper. I started out 7 and 10, and I wasn't getting kills that I thought I should. Perhaps it was the range that I was trying to use the MP5 at. I switched to the XM4, and I finished the game 20 and 13. So I started out 7 and 10 with the Pit Viper, and I finished 20 and 13 overall. So that means I went 13 and 3 with the XM4. It's just something to note that the MP5 may not be best at some of the media range combat scenarios. You really want to take this gun into some of the closer range battles, or have extended range on the MP5 to really make it better at some of those medium range combat scenarios. It's just something to note that the MP5 in general, if you're not extending the range on it, may not be great at some of the medium range combat. You may want to get a little bit closer in. The camo is just kind of brown, looks kind of like rust. It's okay. It's not awful, but it doesn't pop to me. Again, that's a matter of opinion, just my opinion. So now let's talk about the 3 attachments you could add to enhance the Pit Viper if you wanted to use this blueprint setup, but then use Gunfighter to give 3 more attachments. So the 3 attachment areas that we do not have attachments on are the Optic, the body, and the muzzle. So for Optic, that's really a matter of opinion. What optic would you like best on this gun? Do you really need one? I mean, the iron sight's really nice. If you want to enhance this gun, I would probably do the quick sight LED for this. I think that maybe one of the best ones for this setup. It's definitely a decent sight, but again, this is going to be a matter of preference. On the body, this is an interesting one where you can really enhance some of what I was talking about earlier. I would go with the SWAT 5 milliwatt laser. I know, tongue twister. And what that's going to do is going to increase our hipfire accuracy by 36% at a cost of 8% aim down sight time. I'm taking these stats off of the Game With website, so if they're wrong, go blame those guys. But what that's going to do, plus 36%, is going to counteract that minus 15% hip fire, so I'm going to get a plus on my hip fire. And then I'm also still going to get a plus on my aim down sight time because I'm only taking away a negative 8% where I have the Serpent Grip that's plus 25%. So I get a plus on my aim down sight time still overall on the setup. And now I get a plus on the hip fire. So this gun is going to be even better at closer ranges. And then finally, the muzzle. We're going to keep it simple here. The muzzle break 9, which is going to increase our recoil control by 4%. I think that's going to be the best muzzle for this build. It's going to help us out with recoil a little bit so we can just do even better at some of the maybe medium-ish range combat. But again, I'm not certain that this gun is great at those medium range encounters. I just said earlier, I think the XM4 is going to be where it's at, or more assault rifle-ish when we're trying medium range. You should really stick to some of the closer ranges for the MP5. But again, that's just my personal experience. Some of you may be doing a lot better with the MP5 and medium ranges than I am. I just think that some of the ARs are a little bit better at those medium ranges like the XM4, the Krig, etc. So we have less than a minute left in this video, but thank you all for sticking around until the end. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If there are guns that you would like to see blueprint-wise and you want me to do a review on them, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know. Let me know what you think of this blueprint in the comment section as well. Well, until next time, peace.